You're listening to WKCR 89.9 FM on your dial and WKCR HD1. We are having a really lucky opportunity. The Zhou Family Band is in New York, and they are a band of musicians who play traditional Chinese instruments, many of which I have never laid eyes on, and they're fantastic musicians and people. We had a real blast after their performance at Flushing Town Hall last week. And Mu Chen is here, and he is an ethnomusicologist and a producer and fascinating guy, and he's going to kind of give us a tour and lead us through traditional Chinese music, something I know nothing about. Mu, how are you today?
Good. Thanks, David, for the introduction.
Was my pronunciation of your given name okay? Qian?
Yeah.
Mu Qian?
Yes, that's it.
Okay, getting there.
Yeah. Thanks for your efforts.
Okay, thanks for appreciating the effort. Obviously, there's so much to talk about, and we're looking at the table. There's dozens of instruments here. Where do we start? I guess that there's a tradition of folk music and of court music. What kind of stuff are we going to learn about today?
Yeah, so the music that the Zhou Family Band plays is a kind of traditional folk music from the Central Plain area of China. They're from Anhui Province, and they're particularly from Lingbi County, which is in northern Anhui Province, and it's part of the Central Plain area, which also includes some other provinces like Henan, Shandong, and Jiangsu. So this particular music tradition is very much related to life cycle rituals like weddings, funerals, and birthday parties, things like that. So people have been playing this kind of music for, I don't know, maybe 600 years. And no wedding or funeral is complete without this kind of music, without a group like Zhou Family Band playing at the ritual. But of course, Zhou Family Band is one of the best bands and one of the best inheritors of this tradition. And they are very busy in China around their home, and especially during this period of time is the Chinese New Year period of time, and that's when people like to have parties and to invite these guys to play. And we are very glad that we can have two of the musicians here, because we have already finished the U.S. tour, and the majority of the band has already gone back to China. But two of them, the band leader Benming and Su Rong, are with us, so they're going to play us live today.
Yeah, very exciting. So there's so many amazing instruments here, and I wonder if we could just go element by element. Like, one instrument that I was just amazed by was the mouth organ. Mm-hmm. Can you tell us about this unique instrument that the story behind this?
It's called 声。周老师，你来演示一下这个声。I'm asking Benming to demonstrate the 声。周老师，您能简单的介绍一下这个乐器吧？ So I'm asking Benming to give us a short introduction.
这个声啊，在过去在2500年前春秋战国的时候，有一个成语叫滥竽充数。
This is one of the oldest Chinese instruments. From historical records, we can find, data about the instrument from like 2,500 years ago. But it must be older than that, so we're not sure how old it is, but it has been very popular in Chinese folk music, especially in central China. And there are different forms of sheng. This is the kind of sheng that they play in central China. It's a square one, but you can also find round ones.
Right, and if we're looking at it, that it's basically got some kind of, it's a bunch of bamboo pipes of different lengths. Mm-hmm. And then I guess there's some finger holes, but also uniquely for music from this region, I guess it has a harmonic element. You're playing more than one note at a time.
Yeah, it's one of the few Chinese instruments that can produce a harmony.
So is that something that you would... well, maybe it would be great. Could we hear a piece with the show? I'm sorry, is that what it's called?
Sheng.
Sheng.
Yeah.
The show is different. The sheng and I don't know, whatever would make sense with that.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm going to invite the musicians probably to play a piece called Xiao Kai Men. It's a gentle and traditional piece. It's usually played at rituals to worship the heaven, the earth, and ancestors.
All right, thank you.
So that was a piece played by the sheng and the dizi, the Chinese flute.
And do these songs, are there traditional instrumentals, or does this reference lyrics?
This is instrumental music.
Oh, only instrumental?
Yes.
Interesting. And do we know anything about are there famous composers, or are they just part of a folk tradition?
No, we don't know who the composer is.
Mm-hmm.
It has been, composed. It must have been composed collectively by many different people who contributed their part to it, and then throughout the years, it came into being like this. And this is how they learned from their fathers. But from generation to generation, there might be some slight difference. So maybe in a few hundred years, it will be played a bit differently from now.
Right. But this is a song that your average person might recognize by ear, or is it like the...
Unfortunately, nowadays, the young generations don't know much about this kind of music. But in their, for example, in their hometown and in the towns and the villages around where they live, most people would recognize it.
All right. So I see some other instruments being prepared. Maybe you want to tell us what seems to be lining itself up.
Yeah, actually, the most important instrument in this band is the suona. It's kind of shawm, and there are also different kinds of suonas, some bigger, some smaller, and
Shona, it's called.
suona.
Sona. Not so far from the Indian Shanai in terms of the name.
Yeah, because it's they all belong to the same family, I guess. Actually, it must have come to China from somewhere else along the Silk Road, I guess, because in Western China you find the sunai played by the Uyghur people, and you go further west, you find similar instruments in Iran or other countries, and that is a very interesting story, and you can even find it in Cuba, because it was brought by Chinese immigrants like 150 years ago, and they took it with them to Cuba, and then it was used by the local people in Cuba in their carnival, and now you can hear it in Cuban carnivals.
Amazing, amazing. Well, we plan to do another show just on your studies of the Uyghur people. I mean, that's a amazing topic in itself, and that just learning that there's a tradition of Sufi mystical music in China shows that it's a bigger world than I realized. Yeah.
Next time.
Next time. All right. So, do the guys know what they're going to play? There's a particular tune, or?
这会儿咱们演哪个？
来段打草玩吗？
好，可以。Okay. Yeah. Now the two musicians are going to play a tune called "Picking Days." It depicts a scenario of three family members of different generations going to pick dates from a big tree, but they have some argument about how to best do it. And the musicians are going to depict these three characters with different timbres of their instruments.
All right, so we've got a little musical argument coming up here. right. That was super fun. And I think we won't give the mystery away of that super high-pitched singing he does. What do you think?
Pardon?
Oh, nothing. Well, but part in the part of these guys' performance is that they have an entertaining element where they're doing kind of like almost magic tricks and stuff like that.
Yeah, I wish our listeners could see them because it's a very theatrical piece, and they have a lot of expressions and actions that is best seen live in their concert.
Right.
Also, because we only have 2 musicians today, we don't have the percussionist with us. So
yeah, it should be much louder.
Not only louder, but also more rhythmic.
Right. So is these guys put on such an entertaining stage show, is that unique to the Zhou Family Band, or is it very common that a musician is also has elements of comedy and this kind of thing?
Yeah, that's part of the tradition because this kind of music is supposed to be entertaining, even when it is played at funerals. Because in China, a funeral is seen as kind of celebration, because people see death not as an end, but also as a new beginning. And also, when there is a funeral, usually there is a big crowd, and the funeral goes on throughout the night, and people have to be livened up, and sometimes because they can be sleepy during the night, and so the music has to be energetic sometimes and wake them up.
Mm-hmm. And there's people will drink and stuff like that during a funeral, or less so?
Yeah, they do drink.
Okay, great. So do you want to keep going through instruments, or should we listen to some pre-recorded things? What do you prefer?
Maybe we play a recording from their concert in Beijing.
Okay.
Play this tune called 万年红. It means red forever. It's usually performed at weddings.
Red fiber.
Red forever.
Red forever.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's check it out. We are in studio with Wu Qian and the Zhou Family Band. So this is kind of an example of the full ensemble at full strength. Do you have anything to tell us about what we just heard here?
Yeah, what we just heard is 万年红 or Red Forever, and so in this piece we heard both the blown instruments and the drum and percussion. This kind of music is called trida music, and trida, it means blown and blowing and striking, literally. So it is kind of wind and percussion music. So these are the two elements of this music.
And Red Forever, red is a traditional a color that is associated with the dynasty of China, or is it a communist thing, or
it can be that, but not here. I think in this piece, because traditionally red symbolizes happiness in Chinese culture, so that's why it's called Red Forever.
That's why you wear red underwear on the New Year or something like that?
Yeah. Well, that's a tradition for people who were born in the year of that animal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for example, now is the year of mouse. So people who were born in the year of mouse, they're supposed to wear a red underwear throughout the year.
The whole year?
Yeah.
Wow. I think someone in garment sales came up with that tradition. Okay, so we got some new instruments lined up doing what's about to go down.
Yeah. 庆贺令吧. So yeah, we just heard the piece Red Forever is usually associated with the wedding, and now after the wedding we're going to hear a piece about the birth of a baby. It is called 庆贺令, or the tune of celebration.
All right.
That was the tune of celebration played live by Su Rong on the sheng, the mouth organ, and by Zhou Benming on the suona, the smaller suona. So you can hear that the pitch is higher. And later we'll ask them to also demonstrate the bigger suona with a lower tone. Ming just said that this tune should be played by the full band with percussion, and then it will be more energetic.
Yeah. What? How much of this music is improvised?
Let's ask Benming. So, 他就问他说这个音乐里面有没有即兴的成分在里面？
基本上全是即兴，它是有基础的一种即兴，而是
So they have a basic structure, but then everyone needs to find his own voice. So there's quite a lot of improvisation in this music because they don't write it down. It's passed orally from generation to generation. So everyone learns from his master, but then he plays it in his own way.
And in terms of the repertoire that the Zhou Family Band has, how many different songs can they just... Someone requests a song or something. How big is that repertoire?
他就说你们的曲目大概有多少？
有几百首吧。现在就是一。
So Benming just said that his father used to be able to play like 400 to 500 tunes, but now their generation can only play 100 to 200 pieces. But he says. Even it's the same piece, everyone plays it differently.
Right. Yeah. Wow. And what's the range? There's songs for funerals, there's songs for weddings and childbirth. What other kind of material is out there in that folk tradition? Is it celebrating some famous people or historical events, this kind of...
Sometimes when someone opens a new business, they would invite a band to perform to celebrate the opening of his business. Or it can be for some folk festival, or they play at some temple fair sometimes, or some birthday party, things like that.
And are there a lot of dance, like specific dances associated with most of this music?
就说这个音乐有没有舞蹈一块儿？
这样。
No, usually it doesn't. It's not performed with dance. It's more of ritual music.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
在我们那个家乡，就是大家为这个悦耳做舞蹈而准备的。
So yeah, people sometimes dance along with the music, but it's not really a formal kind of dance.
I understand. Okay, what should we listen to now?
The piece that I would like to play for our audience the most is the 100 Birds Saluting the Phoenix, 百鸟朝凤. But it's a very long piece. It's almost 10 minutes. Do we have that?
Yeah, we have
time?
time.
Okay, sure. So I would like to play this piece. It's about a lot of different birds playing around the phoenix, because phoenix is seen as the queen of birds in Chinese culture, and as we just talked about, there's a lot of improvisation in their music, especially in this piece, in which the musicians imitate the chirping of different kinds of birds, and also some other animals like cat and dog, and it's also a very theatrical piece. But even without seeing them, you can try to tell what birds or animals they are trying to imitate. So let's listen to it.
All right, that is a live performance from the Zhou Family Band. A couple members are in studio right now with instruments in front of them. It's always exciting. We have Zhou Benming and Zhang Sorang. And of course, my good friend Mu is here, Mu Qian. And so that was, we heard a lot of barnyard animals in that last performance. I guess that's always a kind of crowd-pleasing song.
Yeah, if you listen carefully, you can see that it's kind of like jazz. I don't know what you think, because there's a lot of improvisation
Sure.
in it, and there's a lot of interaction between the musicians in terms of music, but also physically when they perform on stage.
Right, right, and it's and pure entertainment, and kind of like the early jazz. There's more than one improviser on a melody at the same time.
Yeah, I hope they will. Next time they will come to perform at the Winter Jazz Fest, probably.
Yeah, sure. That would go over well. So there's some different instruments in the hands of the musicians right now. What instruments do we have lined up?
As we said, the main instrument is the suona, the shawm, but there are different kinds of suona. And earlier the musicians played the smaller suona, which is of a higher pitch. But now they are going to play a piece with the big suona, and the pitch is lower, but in some way more powerful, in my opinion.
Is there anything we should know about the song?
Yeah, it's so we just heard tunes for wedding and to celebrate the birth of a baby, but now we are going to hear a tune for a funeral. So this is a piece called The Tune of Great Sadness, and it is usually performed when someone passes away. And when the band played at the Flushing Town Hall, we dedicated it to the people who have passed away because of the novel coronavirus that has killed a lot of people in China, but also it has also been happening around the world, and we wish to. We hope to wish people healthy and strong with this piece.
Okay, thank you guys. Thank you. Are there particular scales that are generally used in this traditional Chinese music?
Yeah, I think most of these tunes are of pentatonic scales.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And are there various pentatonics that are the most common?
Yeah, there is one main pentatonic scale. I can ask Benming
Yeah,
to
that'd be great.
demonstrate it. 这不是五声音阶啊。
还发了的。
不 但是您吹一个传统的曲子，只用那个五声音阶的。
哦。
It seems that he has been playing anything but the pentatonic scale.
Fair enough. Well, okay. Very cool. We got about 20 minutes left. And then actually it's going to be fascinating because at 7 o'clock we'll investigate the shanai, which we seem to have discovered here is related to the shona. It's almost the same instrument. Clearly there's some connection via the Silk Road. So what do you think we should listen to, Mu?
Yeah, they can play as long as you want.
Yeah, well, no, well, you're the director. What do you think? What do you think is the best?
Maybe I can ask them if they want to play any foreign song.
Sure.
What do you think? Their favorite foreign piece is Auld Lang Syne.
Oh, okay. Well, that one comes in handy.
Do you
And the
want to
Chinese New
listen to
Year
that?
just happened, right?
Yeah.
As they wish.
要不要来个那个友谊地久天长？
啊。
All right.
Yeah, if you've seen the film The Last Emperor, there is a scene in that film of some Chinese musicians playing this piece. I think probably with similar instruments.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fun. So I wonder if there's any music that they don't usually get a chance to play because you're putting on a show and it's trying to be entertaining, but I wonder if there's any particular songs that are close to their heart that they would want to play.
就是说，您有没有什么特别想演的曲子？特别是平时演的不哪个？哪个？
right. Performance live in the WKCR studio. That was Zhou Benming from the Zhou Family Band, Zhou Benming and Zhang Sarang. And our guide through all this beautiful music is Mu Qian. And thank you, guys. Any last music we should hear to say goodbye, Mu? What do you think?
Yeah, there's so much that I want to share with you from the Zhou Family Band and the trade music of the Central Plain area of China. Maybe we can listen to another recording.
Great.
Of it's called the Yanluo Shatan, the wild geese landing on the shore. It's about a group of wild geese flying to the south during the winter time, and they would take off and land by a lake 3 times during the duration of this piece. And this piece symbolizes a kind of community spirit that is very much valued in traditional Chinese society, because the wild geese would always take care of each other and never leaving one alone. So should we listen to it?